the tell of that wall, you should know that we are at one of our favorite places right now. Orlando Speed World, home track. Some of the guys came out here today to race their cars, and we might do a little hit in the 4-door Integra. Okay, we're definitely doing some hits. I even brought some slicks. Have a belly pan, so they won't let us run without it if it's front wheel drive and on slicks. So right now, Chris with this Civic hatch, he just let us borrow his street radials. There's some Mickey Thompson, so we won't launch it because it's on stock suspension and insane shaft 32mm axles, so we really don't want a bad day. So we'll do a little test hit, roll into it in first, shift into second, give it some beans, then make a pass. But the car actually looks good on a nice radial in the front, a little bit of poke and a pretty good fitment. I think it's pretty sick right there. And he is on full slicks and skinnies, so pretty nice. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Of course, dog. Thank you for letting me use it.
Absolutely.
And they're all going up for a pass right now. Chris is going, Emma's going in his Integra right there. It's also a K-Series. And then we have another K-Series Integra right here. So 3 K-Series Integras and a K-Series EG. All the K-Series.
Yeah.
Shane, Max. And then the K-Series right there, RSX. Match this car. We gotta make a rip in your car too.
One eternity later.
All right, so that pass proved to be pretty bad. We wheel hopped a lot, spun a lot. Even though I rode the clutch out in first gear and then second gear started wheel hopping, a bunch of suspension travel, and the car's just not ideal for drag racing. But Chris and some of the other guys are up again. I think Chris is actually coming up to the staging lanes right now. Let me flip the camera for y'all. Yeah, so he's right there, just came out of the burnout box. Let's get a nice little side shot for him. Off the bottle, looks like an 1185 at 120, no nitrous, just all motor. Pretty good pass. There we go. 12.8 at 117, not bad. Shane about to be ignorant in the 4-door. Max me passenger. Clutch so much, bro.
Because
What is that?
3,400.
Wow.
What is that, bro? Why are you riding the clutch?
Learn to drive stick shift. God. So slow. This thing's about to run another 14. All right, 14.4 at 101.
Okay.
Definitely a better driver.
Like crazy.
Definitely driver than me. Definitely a better driver. Shane is officially driver mod on a 14.4.
Should be 60 foot.
I went like a 14 something else.
14.6
Ugh,
at 99.
disgusting.
See, you did a 360 foot, but I went 6.5 to the 330. You went 6.6. I did 9.7. You did 9.6.
You said it wasn't wheel hopping with you, right?
It didn't.
So when I wheel hopped, I had to let off.
Yeah.
So you just drug the clutch more.
Yeah, I rode the clutch a little more to get it to get wheel speed, basically.
Right.
If I was 110 pounds, I would be a problem. I just want to let everybody know that.
Shane had us fold in those mirrors. He's trying to go for that 13. Arrow, baby. With the hubcaps.
No, the hubcaps is crazy.
Hubcaps adds power. It reduces drag, actually, if you think about it. Oh, that's on a pass right there. Let's see it. Oh, no, Shane, you misshifted. So unfortunately, a little mishap. Third gear has left the chat. It is gone. So third gear's broken. I'm trying to drive it home right now. I just pulled out just first, second, fourth, and fifth, and sixth. But I just hope no chunks go into like the final drive or anything. But I gotta drive it home. I'm about 35 minutes away, so I'll update you guys when I get home. On Saturday, today's Wednesday for reference, we went out to the TRC night meet, and it was a really great show. There was a bunch of like cool stuff, drag racing, drifting, some stunt riding, good vendors, nice atmosphere, all around nice party vibe at the track. Really, really great time. We went out there, we did a test pass, and shifting into fourth gear, the engine and transmission lost their sync. In the sense of something broke from transmitting the power from the engine to the trans, and then the trans to the wheels, obviously. We had been having some ignition cut issues with the strain gauge for some time now, and I thought I had pinpointed it through a couple different things. I even sent my ECU and my strain gauge back into Fuel Tech, as well as had them look over logs, had them look over the data that I have coming out of the ECU, the logs obviously, the input settings that I have for that Fuel Tech strain gauge, and a whole bunch of other things like that. So everything, according to Fuel Tech, looked good, which was fantastic. Put it back in the car and we were still having issues. So there's something going on that we still need to dive a little further in and figure out why it's giving us that issue. So essentially what it's doing, it's not providing an ignition cut at the correct time in both aspects of when I need it, sometimes I don't have it, and when I have it, sometimes I don't need it. So for reference, that one pass that we got at TRC, it did ignition cut through the strain gauge in the middle of the burnout, although there was no hand on the lever or on the shift knob. It's a strain gauge shift knob. Then we also had an ignition cut in first gear. Then we had a double ignition cut going into third. And I think all of this back and forth ignition, working and not working, working and not working, especially when wide open throttle shifting with no clutch, is putting a strain on the drivetrain, obviously. So, as a direct cause from that, in my opinion, the input shaft broke. I've never seen an input shaft break like that. It was a clean snap. I got a replacement one from G-Force the next day. That was on Saturday, like I said. Sunday, I took the trans out, evaluated what was the problem. I saw that it was just the input shaft. Everything else was in pretty decent condition. So I called G-Force on Monday, ordered a new shaft next day air. It was about $500, I think, or so. And got it in Tuesday night, put it in the car. Wednesday right now, we are on the way to FL2K, and it's gonna be a good week. Pretty excited for the event. There's some stuff that we haven't been able to dial in, like the strain gauge cut stuff, but we're gonna be looking at other stuff to try to mitigate that problem and see if we can make everything work a different way. So we are queued up in line. There's probably a couple dozen truck, trailers, and cars ready, but La Fea is just as ready here. So normally when I travel with the car and the trailer, I'll put a little grocery bag on top of the up pipes Sometimes I put something on the turbo as well so it doesn't spin with the air, but it's a little old turbo. I got to put something bigger, better, nicer on it anyways. So if it breaks, it's a nice little excuse to upgrade. So we're mostly set up here at FL2K, Brainton Motorsports. We've got Peter's car right there, my car, La Fea, right there. We've got our tents all set up, the trailer and all with some lighting, generator, everything's going good. But there is some rain right now, as you guys can see. Obviously, the testing for tonight did get canceled, which kind of sucks, but it's a good thing we didn't get a spot. Although everybody got refunded, it would have sucked to have the car all ready for this and then the rain hit. So that's pretty much all for tonight, I'd imagine. It looks like it's gonna rain for at least maybe an hour or so, and I doubt that they'll try to get it cleaned up for after that. So we'll be good. Tomorrow we should tech in and be able to start doing some stuff on the car and do some passes soon.